So it's Miguel and Holly with Scotty the Bunny. It's National Zookeeper Week at Busch Gardens.
Yes.
And so we have Trevor here who's going to walk us through some of the things they have going on. I will tell you that I am scared and I'm nervous because we do have animals here.
You are the worst person to lead this discussion.
I am.
What are you doing?
No, you're going to have to take over because I might run out the door.
You're the worst person to lead it, but you're my favorite person to watch on camera. So this is going to be a great time
This
for
is
everybody.
good.
So.
But yeah,
Oh,
happy
gosh.
National Zookeepers Week. So
Thank you,
with
thank you.
zookeeping comes a lot of feeding the animals, obviously.
It does. You know, there's so many responsibilities when it comes to taking care of animals. Zookeepers need to be able to know how to build habitats for animals. We need to know how to have, the right amount of space and shelter for them, how to teach people about them as well, because that's such a big part of our jobs.
Yes.
But as you mentioned, we've got to know what to feed them too, and
Yeah.
that's a big challenge.
Wow.
A lot of these animals are coming from halfway around the world. They don't live here, so we don't have the same foods available for them that they'd have in the wild. So how do we figure that out?
Right.
It's a big challenge.
So is that what we have here? We have three
We've got
different...
a couple different diets.
Yes.
So we actually have a herbivorous diet. So herbivores, of course, let's see. We're gonna quiz you guys from school. Herbivores
gosh.
only eat
Vegetables and fruits.
Vegetables.
Vegetables!
There we go.
Yes!
Then
that is.
we have the carnivores. Carnivores are only going to eat one thing, and that is
Meat! That's
Got
me.
it.
That's
There you
Miguel
go.
as a very
Last, you want to trade spots?
Oh, yes,
Over there?
let's
Maybe?
trade.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm saying,
He's
give
a
me...
carnivore. I don't want to be fighting.
Do you
then last but
wait,
not
why do you
least-
think we're over here? Yeah.
So last but not least, we have our omnivores, and omnivores are going to eat a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So this is a diet for a bird. Now
Oh,
specifically, this
okay.
is somebody who normally I think people would expect to see a few more Fruit Loops around there. So
Yeah.
this is actually a diet for a toucan. Now they're not really a big fan of Fruit Loops, believe it or not. They do like to follow their nose, but not to Fruit Loops.
Right.
They specifically like eating a lot of these different types of fruits and veggies.
Okay.
A lot of times, though, our fruits and veggies are going to be very high in iron, and that can actually be fatal to a toucan in managed care. So we kind of we fix that by giving them some of these specialized pellets that are very low in iron.
Okay.
They're going to be very healthy for them overall.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And we're really fortunate too when it comes to researching what should we give an animal in that case by having a zoo nutritionist.
Oh,
She's
wow.
one of less than 30, I want to say, in her field on planet Earth,
Whoa.
right here at Busch Gardens in our own backyard.
Because Busch Gardens is awesome.
Exactly.
Yes,
right?
and these
Yeah.
birds are famous.
They
Like,
are
you have
super
one
famous.
of 30, making sure your diet... I
Right.
did that.
Right.
I know, right? I wish I had my own nutrition.
Wow.
Now, I did mention this is an omnivore diet, though,
Yeah.
so to be fair, it is missing a little bit of protein. So a lot of birds will like to eat some nice yummy things like these delicious right here.
Oh,
So
wow.
Would you like maybe some
No,
living
I'm
parsley?
good.
Are you
Oh.
sure? They're really
The
yummy.
parsley's great,
No,
but
the parsley moves
What?
now, right? So these are some super worms. So this is going to be the favorite snack
What is a
of something like a
super worm?
toucan. One of these big giant worms right there. You said you wanted to try
No,
some.
I'm
No.
good. Ooh, no.
It's like the
Scott,
moth.
eat it, eat it, eat it.
We'll save that for the toucan. No.
Okay.
So these guys like having a wide variety of different things in their diet.
Okay.
Our next friend, though, a carnivore, is only going to eat meat.
Just
as we were
meat.
saying earlier.
Meat.
That's
Just
it.
meat.
No
So
French fries are added to
no
it.
French
just
fries,
meat.
none whatsoever.
Okay,
so
I was just
wouldn't do a
wondering.
whole lot for them. So now, to be fair, they can't have the same types of meats that we can. We just eat muscle meat from an animal. So. Top quiz to see if you really are a carnivore. How many of you guys would like to eat some, I don't know, so you probably like some steak, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. love
Maybe,
it.
maybe some chicken?
Yes.
Okay, maybe some liver?
Yeah.
I think it's edible.
My mom
but
used to
I
eat
don't-
chicken
Yeah.
livers back in the day.
Right, maybe
Yeah.
some intestines too?
Nope,
Nope.
that's
Maybe
where
a
I draw
nice
the
juicy
line.
eyeball, a brain,
No,
any
no.
zombies? Oh,
No.
okay, some of you may be more
No.
carnivores than others. So when you
Well-
think about it, carnivores don't pull out a knife and a fork and go for the choice cut. They eat everything from an animal.
True.
So this meal right here is literally everything from an animal. Now, it's not physically everything. Don't worry, you're not looking at ground up eyeballs, I promise.
Oh.
You're looking like you're about to lose your life.
I was like, okay, all right, what we got here?
That's a
But
meat.
it's a
Mhm.
specialized meat diet that has vitamins and minerals from everything I described mixed into one.
Oh.
So this
Okay.
is a complete diet for a carnivorous animal, such as, what types of carnivores live at Busch Gardens? Who'd like something like this? What do you guys think?
The cheetahs?
The cheetahs?
Ah!
That very
A
good.
plus.
Cheetahs,
Okay,
they're
okay.
one of them. How about who's bigger than cheetah and got more stripes and spots?
Oh,
A tiger!
Tigers, there
Right,
you go.
right.
So this is actually a meal for our tigers. They eat a lot more than this every single day. This is a
Yeah.
relatively petite serving.
this is just an appetizer.
Mhm, exactly. So
Yeah.
such big, powerful animals need really big, giant meals.
Yeah.
And that strength and power and agility they have, that is actually the inspiration for our new roller coaster at Busch Gardens, Tigress.
Tigress.
I like that
Just
time.
launched
crazy.
I know, right? Look at that side view. So,
good.
but yeah, it's a triple launch coaster, forward, backwards, forward again, all the way up into a crazy heartline roll. Our guests have absolutely loved it. whole bunch of fun. You guys got to come to the park and ride it when you
I've
get a
actually
chance.
been on it.
You have? Did you like it?
It is terrifyingly wonderful.
It's terrifyingly wonderful.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Right. There we go. Well, speaking of terrifying, we've got to eventually get to the animal that we actually have joining us today. But before we do, let's take a peek at what he likes to eat.
Okay.
So, our special guest today is a herbivore, so don't worry, you're not on the menu, I promise. None of you guys are.
Good.
So herbivores only like fruits and vegetables. Now this particular herbivore really likes to have a lot of rooty vegetables. He likes things that he can chew on and gnaw on. That's because they have very large, massive, gigantic, huge, enormous teeth. I love his face.
I know. He's so stressed out.
These guys are related to rodents, so they're only going to be eating things like fruits and veggies, but their teeth continue to grow throughout their life.
Oh.
So dental hygiene is actually very important for animals, just like it is for people. So for our special friend today, very spiny, very pokey, we've got a porcupine in studio with us today, an African crested porcupine.
I feel like people don't think porcupines are as big as they are.
And a lot of times they don't. So
I
it
didn't.
depends upon the type of porcupine you're
Got it,
talking
got
about.
it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
for instance, we have in North America our kind of mid-sized porcupines, maybe about this
That's
big.
like, I think, what people picture.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
people normally picture. But our special guest that we're going to meet today is an African crested porcupine.
Oh, he looks precious.
He does, doesn't he?
big boy.
So
My
his
hands are
name-
sweaty right now. Like, I
Kamani.
can't handle
Isn't he
this.
awesome though?
What's
He
his
is
name again?
giant. Or I'm sorry, not Kamani. This is in studio with us today. We have Candora. So
Wait, why is he
Pandora.
expanding up like that? What's
Because
going
he's
on?
excited.
Freaking him out!
You see those quills that he's got? So those
Oh
quills
my
keep them
God.
nice and safe from predators like lions.
Oh,
and
why are you
hyenas.
bringing him over here?
So those quills,
He
though,
wants
will
to say
help
hi.
him to show off.
I wanna touch him.
Now, he'll only really lift those all the way up if something is bothering him, but if he gets really excited, he'll do the same thing too, kind of like, ooh, what is this? Because Mike
Hello.
over here has some of his favorite snacks. So
Oh, the bouquet.
Mr. Candor here
Ooh,
loves
it's coming
eating
right
a
by
lot of
us.
those
Coming
veggies. Yeah, he'll
right.
probably wander over by your feet, right?
I want to
Yeah.
get stabbed.
So these guys love eating all sorts of kind of rooty vegetables like that. We make sure we have a lot of that in his diet, a lot of browse materials to plant. So I like that you're hiding behind
I
the
am.
counter.
I
during
can't.
all
I'm going
this.
to jump
This is
on this
great.
counter
So-
if it walks any further over here.
Now he's a really friendly guy too. You can see how Mike's kind of patting him and loving on him too.
Oh.
So he really likes. There's a spot actually right down over here, right underneath his armpit, where if you get him just right, sometimes he'll start kind of licking on you. Thank you. There we go. See how he's licking my pants?
Jesus.
We're all these nice people right there. So
I love you.
he's pretty cool, isn't he? So these quills are very, very long and very sharp, but they are not barbed like those of the North or South American porcupine. So
Okay.
if you got stuck by them, it would probably hurt, but they would pull out of you essentially.
Oh, well, that's
There's a few bars
comforting.
in there, so yeah. So, now, he doesn't have the best eyesight, to be fair, and our fingers could look like carrot sticks, so you can give him a scratch if you want. We try not to offer
Go ahead,
any-
Scott. Give him a scratch. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you wanna
He
give him a scratch on
did.
his neck right there, so-
Holly, you gonna touch
That's a
him?
good spot. Yeah, he's just gonna lick on you now. He says hello. He's got a really rough tail. It's really rough tongue. Is that awesome?
It's so rough.
It's like rougher than a cat's tongue. It's super, super rough. So
Well,
really
that's-
useful if you're grooming yourself.
I was
You
gonna
got
say,
all
what is
those
it? What is it
quills,
for?
right?
It's just grooming yourself.
Yeah, really
and-
just for grooming himself, making sure that all of his quills look nice and beautiful. You
Do
know,
they
he knew he was
lose
gonna
the
be on camera today,
quills?
so.
I mean, do they come out?
They will, yeah. They'll lose them over time, just as we'll, shed bits of our hair over time. But the fun thing about them is that they don't actually. Oh, we missed that. There it is. The fun thing about these quills is that they are not designed quite like we think. They don't shoot out like they do in cartoons and movies.
Because
I
that's what I'm
promise.
feeling like.
You've got like
He's-
two human shields.
Yes, like he's aiming towards me. So Holly and Scott are protecting me right now.
So that would be like us shooting the hair out of our head like missiles, which would be awesome.
I
But
kind
they
of
can't
want to do.
actually do that. That's just not a possibility for them at all. So
Okay.
those quills are really just all about defense. If a predator messes with them, they're gonna have a really bad day.
Wow. Well, that is awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing.
And he's just one of several animals. Oh, right over here, buddy. So he is just one of just several hundred animals that people can meet at Busch Gardens. We've actually got several thousand, in fact, several hundred species, I should say. And we just launched 10 new animal experiences. So guests can actually book some really cool behind-the-scenes tours to meet a lot of our animals up close and in person. We have ones for our giraffes, of course, but we also have ones for our cheetahs. We've also got some that we just launched for our rhinos, which is really cool.
You can meet the rhinos.
You can meet the rhinos.
Wow.
And the one that people really freak out about, we have a behind-the-scenes tour to meet our sloths.
Oh.
Oh no, you don't.
That's gonna be the most
That's
So you
popular.
can find out all about that online. It's alright, I'll just kind of give you a little lippy scratching back there. But you can find out all about all those tours online at buschgardens.com. You can book an entire set of tours there and plan a whole day out at our park. Get a chance to meet all of our awesome animals, ride rides like tigers, and just have a blast.
That's awesome. Well, Trevor, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to, what's our little friend's name?
Candora.
Condora, thank you so much for joining us. And have a wonderful National Zookeeper Week, and they're going to join you all.
Sounds good.
I want it.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. There's your spot.